and we are confronted with issues of life, what keeps us anchored is the promise that God has made to us. When everything is falling apart in your life and the center cannot hold, what keeps you grounded is the promise that God has given to you. For example, this is how it works. Look at me, everybody. Drop whatever you're doing and look at me. This is how it works. You see, God will bring you on a mountain. Okay? He brings you on this mountain. And the reason why I call it a mountain is because every time God gives you a dream or gives you a word or gives you a vision, you are excited. You are ecstatic. So God gives you a vision. And watch this, everybody. And God shows you a mountain that he's taking you to. Are you following me? Please talk to me. Are you following me? Yes, I like that. And so God keeps you on this mountain. He shows you the mountain that he's taking you to. All right. Now, but what God does not show you, he shows you the car, he shows you the house, he shows you the job, shows you the marriage, shows you the career. But what God have realized that he doesn't show you, that between the mountain where you are standing and the mountain where he's taking you to, there is a valley. And so, because if God shows you the valley, some of you or some of us or every one of us will not be willing to do what we need to do to be able to get to that mountain where he has promised that he's taking us to. And so what happens is that between the mountain where you are standing and the mountain where God is taking you to, you need to now go through, sometimes you go through situations, and that's where you hear people say things like, even though I walk through the valleys of the shadows of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And that's where you hear things like, as the journey from one nation to another, from one people to another people, he suffered no man to do them harm. He rebuked kings for their sake, and he said to them, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. And that's why you hear things like, Lord, if it is possible for this cup to pass over me, and God says, no, that is a path that you need to take to be able to get to that mountain that I've shown you. You see, and that's why you hear people like Job who say things like, I look to the right where and I can't find him, I look to the left and I can't find him, but faithful is he who has promised and who is able to bring it to pass. You see, sometimes God will not show you that things are not going to always work out the way you planned. And we looked at Abraham. You see, Abraham, God told Abraham, I'm going to make you the father of many nations. I'm going to make sure that whoever blesses you, I will bless, and whoever curses you, I will curse. But ladies and gentlemen, can I quickly humbly submit to you this morning that it took Abraham 25 years before that promise came to life. And yet Abraham had to believe God. And the writer of the book of Hebrews tells us that Abraham did not stagger in his faith. Because when God shows you where he's taking you to, God does not show you that there was going to be a time that people are going to hate you. For example, we'll look at Joseph. Take it down. We're going to get there. Just take it down. Look at Joseph. God said to Joseph, I'm going to elevate you. I'm going to make you a man of influence. But God did not tell him that before you get to where I'm taking you to, that you are going to be hated by your brothers. God did not tell him that before you get and become the prime minister, that your coat of many colors will be taken from you. God did not tell him that you are going to be thrown into the pit. God did not tell him that he was going to be sold to Egypt and he was going to be lied upon by Potiphar's wife, and he was going to be thrown in prison. You see, sometimes you see that God does not show you the things that you are going to go through. And look at David. How many of you are aware that David was anointed 3 times before he even became king? Oh God, help me. Rev, have you ever wondered how you are in the number, you are in number 1, but yet you are in the number 2 position, and you are looking at that position and said, this is where God has put me, but then you need to remain in this position, you see, because God has a way of working. If he shows you that you are going to be hated, that people are going to lie upon you, that you are going to go through hell and high waters, that there are times that things are not going to be working in your life, but I came this morning, oh God help me, to tell somebody in this house that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. For some trust in chariot and some in horses, but we remember the name of the Lord. They are brought down and fallen, and we are risen and stand upright. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. I'm getting ahead of myself.